It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
Do you love the Tabernacle Choir? This year, the choir's music is everywhere you are. Listen to your favorite choir songs and music and the spoken word anytime you want on Alexa by simply enabling the skill.
Alexa, play music in the spoken word.
Now playing music in the spoken word.
You can also download the Tabernacle Choir app, subscribe to the choir on YouTube, listen on Spotify, and have access to all their wonderful music. Happy listening.
It's the best station, period.
Let's be honest. These guys have the best job on the planet.
You come to work in a frickin' bathrobe?
So if you're out there working hard, you should also expect your radio hosts to put in an honest day's work. So of course, Jake and Ben are live at 5 with the biggest headlines and the best analysis in Utah. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97 KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hey, we're teaming up with Beehive Meals, honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at kslsports.com/contest, and listen every Thursday afternoon to this show, Jake and Ben, for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. Ben, it's time for the Live at 5, brought to you by our friends at Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan today, your local trusted financial fiduciary, 1-855-TRAJAN-1, or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. The latest story at KSLSports.com was posted an hour ago. Ben, a nice write-up from our guy Steve Bartle. Headline, Morgan Scalley setting the tone for the new era of Utah football, so make sure and check that out. The biggest story of the day, however, of course, the Utah Jazz move up to number 2 in the NBA draft lottery, opening all sorts of doors for opportunity on who to pick.
Yeah, it's just a super valuable asset. And that's what it is at this point. It's not a player yet. It's a trade option. It's a guy you can draft at number 2 overall in a very good draft.
What percentage would you put it that they would trade it?
1%. It's low.
Well, then it's not a trade option.
No, it's an option. 1% is still an option. But it's, look.
10% is still an option.
If it was,
1% is.
I think if the Jazz were at 5 or 6, I think there's a very real chance they would have traded this pick. Had they not acquired Jaren Jackson Jr. and were still sitting at 5 or 6, I think they would have almost been guaranteed to trade it to try and get a Jaren Jackson Jr. type of player. But they have Jaren Jackson Jr., and now they're at 2, which almost makes it, in a good draft, you're almost pressured into making the pick. Because you're right, we don't have a lot of examples of this happening. The last time this high got traded in this good of a draft was Andrew Wiggins.
For Kevin Love.
For Kevin Love.
When Cleveland re-signed LeBron for his second go-round.
Yes.
Let me be clear. I don't think the Jazz should trade the second pick. Go ahead and make it. Actually, the Jazz can take some risk because their team is largely put in place. So why not shoot for the moon and see if you can get a real dude? But, I mean, if they feel like they're in the Giannis sweepstakes, I guess.
It changes the level of player you're talking about, who you would acquire.
It would have to be somebody like that.
Yes, it would have to be a player in the top 10 conversation.
Like that?
Top 10 players in the NBA.
In the league, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't even think you're doing this for a Donovan Mitchell caliber player.
No.
Right.
No, why would you?
Because you're hoping to get somebody better than Donovan Mitchell, is the truth.
Well, the problem is that you have to pay Donovan Mitchell.
And that's also a problem.
You don't have to pay Darren
This
Peterson.
guy makes a lot, $13 million, but if he produces at an all-star level for the next 4 years, and he's capped out at $17 million, that's $20 million you're not spending, or $30 million you're not spending on an all-star caliber player that you can spend elsewhere.
He is a bargain for the next 7 years.
Correct, exactly right. Even on a rookie extension, if he hits, he's a deal.
He's still a deal.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Still a deal. No question about it. So
like the Vlasic pickle?
They're good.
They are good.
So that's the real advantage. And Ace Bailey, by the way, is in that same conversation.
They'd have to trade a big salary if they traded for Giannis, in all honesty. I don't know if they'd have to flip Lowry, but they'd have to They can't have 3 max guys on the roster at the same time.
No, you're right. You probably either just put Lowry in the deal, which then that's a pretty hefty price. A number 2 pick and Lowry is a heavy price.
That's a no.
But maybe you do a sign and trade with Walker and the pick for Giannis, and then you trade Lowry elsewhere.
Well, you'd still have to trade Lowry. That doesn't solve the problem.
Correct.
Sign and trade Walker.
Right. Yeah, then you just have all these enormous contracts. No, you're exactly
You'd
right.
have to cut the rest of the team.
Correct. And next year when Keontae gets paid, you're really in trouble.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm with you. It's a headache. And actually, if we want to talk about some of the back-end value of this pick, regardless of who the Jazz take, if it's A.J. DeBonsa, if he were to slide to 2, if it's Darren Peterson, or if it's Cam Boozer, which I'm not ruling out. I would promise you, keep an eye on that name. It's going to be one that gets talked about a whole lot. Whoever the Jazz take, if this player's good enough, it solves the Jazz's financial headache that they're going to run into 12 months from now, 24 months from now. If Darren Peterson's good enough and the Jazz feel like, well, good, he slides into 2, and then Ace is good enough to move to 3, you can trade Lowry. And then you get whatever the salary cap saving is and future draft picks. That's the solution there. If it's Cam Boozer, fine. You figure out what to do at 3, 4, 5. And where does he fit in and who do you trade to save that money? Or maybe Darren Peterson looks way more like a lead guard in the NBA than he did in college, and you don't pay Keontae George. And you pay him before he gets paid. Or you trade him before he gets paid. That's the other advantage here where, you hope the Jazz don't go cheap and say, oh, it's a great way to save $40 million. This is the time to spend and go overboard and have all these assets on your roster because you have some real depth, maybe the most depth the team has ever had. But it's a very valuable tool in that sense as well because, like you said, if this is the right guy, a real dude, he's a bargain for 7 straight years. Throughout his rookie contract and then on his second contract because the rookie max is nothing compared to what Jaylen Brown, who's about to sign a $70 million contract, gets compared to what...
Is he up for another deal?
I think he's going to get $70 million a year from now.
Is he really? Hold on.
I think Devin Booker's hitting that $70 million mark soon. Shea's going to be at $68 million soon because they're getting out of their rookie deals. They're getting into that second and third deal that starts to pick up, and it's just so absurdly rich.
Wasn't it Brunson that turned down a deal so he could...
Yes, Brunson is taking the hometown discount.
Yeah.
But he's not a Supermax guy. Jaylen Brown is not Jaylen. He's under contract for another 3 years after this one.
Okay.
So he's 57 next year, 61 the year after, and 64.9 the year after that.
$60 million,
Not as much as Tatum. Tatum's 58.4 next year, 62.7 the year after, 67 the year after that, and here's where you've got the 70. He's got a player option for $71.5 million in 29-30.
Yeah.
Man, Tatum's guaranteed $242,486,496 over the next 4 years.
That's a hefty paycheck.
Yeah.
So, if you get the right guy, and he's capped out at only $45 million 7 years from now, or whatever that number is, it's a great payday for both the Jazz and for whoever the player.
Do you have any idea what the cap's going to be next year? Have we seen it?
150, 160.
And what's the tax?
200. So maybe it's actually higher, to closer to 160.
The Celtics are at 180 next year already.
Yeah.
184 the year after that. 185 the year after that. They already have $185 million committed in 28-29.
Yeah, there's a reason they got rid of all their players last year. They did not want to face this repeater tax and the luxury tax and that's the word I'm looking for, aprons that you're going to run into.
The Celtics might be done.
Yeah, they might not be able to get back.
They might not be able to get back because this is a mess.
$165 million for 26-27.
Is the cap.
Is the cap, not the luxury tax, which is like $20 million higher.
Boston's got a lot of work to do. They've got 30 committed next year to Derek White, 11 to Sam Hauser, and then a bunch of Nemi's got a team option for 2-6, which I guess they would pick up because you're not going to do better than that somewhere else.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, honestly, had the Jazz fallen to like 4 or 5, I think Jaylen Brown would have been like a real conversation for both teams because you've got to get out.
They'd have to trade Lowry, too.
They would also have to trade Lowry.
Any of these trade for a max guy, you can't do a number 2 for Jaylen Brown. Not that they would.
Yeah.
Straight across.
But like 6 and Lowry for Jaylen Brown is a pretty interesting deal.
But
2
not 2
is pretty rich, in my opinion.
I wouldn't think so.
So I think along those lines, that's where maybe the conversation for the Jazz changes a little bit. But the most important part of this, not what the team looks like 3 or 4 years from now, though I guarantee you all the Jazz's capologists and everyone who's looking down the line of how much this is going to cost. We're thinking about that. The Jazz are adding the number 2 overall pick, and they have not had the number 2 overall pick since 1980 when they drafted Darrell Griffith and he won Rookie of the Year. So this is just an enormous boon for the Jazz. It's a big win, and for this to come on the very last day, essentially, of this 4-year rebuild, when we know this ends, and maybe it's officially on the draft itself coming up on June 23rd, but for this to be done and to get this player on the way out the door, I certainly think will change the way everybody views the rebuild, especially if this player hits. If this player does become a guy, top 2, top 3, maybe the number 1 player on the team, then you're really going to say, wow, that was worth it. Because the Jazz are set up extremely well. Jaren's awesome. Lowry's awesome. I think Ace is really good. I think Keontae's proving he can be really good. You get another guy out of this mix, in addition to the Walker Kesslers and the Bryce Sensabaugh and everybody else, not to write anybody off. It's a pretty full rebuild. It's a pretty robust roster you've put together.
Side note, the Celtics should trade Jason Tatum.
Just get out entirely.
Just move off him.
Look,
a lot of the Jazz are Donovan Mitchell, honestly.
It's why people said they should have done a skip year or whatever they were calling it. A
gap year?
A gap year. Go get the young player. Go get a top 5 pick because you get the roster flexibility after it. If you get the right guy, you can move on from one of these two and then start this process over. But you get 2 guys who are making $120 million combined. It's all but $40 million. You got to fill out 13 more spots with $40 million.
That's got to be one of the biggest incentives to keep that number 2 pick. They're not going to move on from that number 2 pick.
No.
They can't afford. I guess they could afford it, but it's not.
You can afford it for 2 years.
It's not the smart financial thing.
You can afford it for 24 months, not for 7 years. So, yeah, and these guys are getting out of their 6th and 7th year in the NBA, and now they get so absorbently expensive you can't keep them. By the way, OKC's going to run into this. This is what the NBA has done. And
let's look at their
may not be good or bad, but this is what the NBA has done. They have set teams up to do this, and you've got to start saying goodbye. It's why the Cleveland Cavaliers were probably at their absolute best last year and got a little bit worse this year and are going to get a little bit worse next year.
You've said that. It is a deterioration. Oh, you want to take a guess at how much money next year Oklahoma City has already committed?
And we said 165 is the
cap.
And I can't remember what the luxury tax is. I mean, they've got to be at 190, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 250 million, $100 million over. Yeah, $90 million over.
$150 million. Shea's making almost 41. Let's see here. Chet is making 41.5. Jalen Williams is making 41.5. Those 3 players. They have a team option on Hartenstein at 28.5. They have a team option on Lou Dort at 18.2. Dude, Lou Dort's going to be a free agent.
Yeah, they might get rid of Hartenstein and Lou Dort. Those are 2 of their 6 best players.
The Jazz should sign Lou Dort.
Yeah, I'll be curious how much money.
Hot take. The Jazz should sign Lou Dort immediately. Because there's no way they're going to pick up his option. $250, and if the luxury tax is at like $180?
It's crazy.
And just think about it, that's what they have to do. They've got Shea who's on his 3rd contract, almost. He will be in 27, 28.
Yeah.
And then Chet and Jalen Williams are on max extensions. Man, they're all under contract through 30-31.
Which is a nice problem to have. You've got really good players under contract through 2031, but you're going to be so expensive, you can't have the rest of your roster built out. And then not only is it, we're paying a luxury tax, the NBA starts to really hammer you on your ability to make future trades, have draft picks, etc. They really have made it difficult. They are trying to dissuade teams from being there.
Let's see.
Tax level is $201 million.
I was going to say. So they're already $50 million over the tax.
Yeah, the first apron is $209, and then the second apron is $222. And once you get over that second apron,
you can't do anything.
You can't take more money back than you're sending out. You can't aggregate salaries in any trade. It has to be 1 for 1. So it's really brutal.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, they could re-sign Lou Dort, but then what do you do with him?
Yeah, then you're stuck with him.
Or you could pick up the option, not re-sign, or pick up the option on Hartenstein. But then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because that makes it extremely hard to trade players.
So getting young players, whoever the Jazz drafted
back to the point.
Keontae George still young, going to be on his rookie contract or his second deal, his first contract outside of his rookie deal.
It's tricky though because he's open for an extension this year though. not the extension, to negotiate for the extension.
Yes, he could agree to it this year, lock in that price, and then it kicks in 27, 28. But Walker's looking for his deal as well. Again, this gets difficult, but you're in a much better spot with the number 2 overall pick if they do hit.
I would think so.
Yeah, you end up in a spot where you have some flexibility of who to say goodbye to and how to trade them.
And again, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. I honestly don't think it needs to be a Hall of Famer that you draft in number 2. I don't know if Chet's a Hall of Famer, but you got to get a good player. You can't get an Anthony Bennett.
Correct. You can't whiff.
You can't whiff. You can't Michael Olakandi this thing.
No, it's got to be.
But it does not have to be Michael Jordan.
No, it has to be at least Keontae George.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's worse than that, I think you feel bad. If it's better than that, you feel really good.
And it seems like everybody thinks they're pretty safe to get at least that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, stay tuned. We have more coming up next. Ben, how did you put that tease?
A sneaky winner from the
NBA
draft lottery.
Winner from the lotteries. Coming up next, Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. May 14th, check us out at Beehive Meals. They open their new production facility in Ogden. Tune in as Scotty G and the coach, not to mention Jake and Ben. Bring you all of the action of the great grand opening. I can't wait to get up there.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Plus, you and I both like Ogden.
Love Ogden.
Maybe we'll have to tear up 35th Street while we're up there.
Let's do it.
25th Street, thank you. I always get that confused for some reason.
There's actually a really cool place right across the street from Beehive Meals, too.
Oh, yeah?
But, yeah, I'm very excited to go up there.
Let's go make it happen. All right, Ben, you had a tease. Sneaky winner from the lottery?
Yeah, because this guy could have easily been having the worst day on the planet today. That's the one and only Joe Dumars. Joe could have been the absolute face of the NBA today had the Atlanta Hawks moved up in the draft, which with their own pick plus the Milwaukee Bucks pick, their numbers were right about what the Jazz's odds were to move up into the top 4. It was about 40%. Jazz were at about 45%. But they actually fell a spot. Atlanta fell a spot with the pick from New Orleans. Remember last year's trade in the first round where they moved up 10 spots and gave up an unprotected first rounder in this year's draft. And that really could have backfired and been a top 4 pick. And again, what people are saying is a very good, maybe not generational, but very good draft. And
what
Joe
is it,
Dumars
8?
They're 8. They were
was
at 7.
still a disaster.
It's still a lot.
It's still a disaster.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a great day for Joe Dumars.
They gave up the 8th pick to move up 10 spots to like the 12th pick?
But if we had not been talking about the Jazz, let's say the Jazz hadn't moved up and the Hawks did move up, we would have led the show with Joe Dumars deserves to be fired. And Joe Dumars is largely skating by today. He is not trending on Twitter. You're not seeing his name in a whole lot of places. So 8, maybe Atlanta still gets a good player. It's probably not a franchise changer. Now, maybe they do, but probably not a franchise changer. I bet you Joe Dumars slept pretty well last night, knowing that he didn't give up a top 4 pick. I bet you he felt pretty good about himself.
He's a crappy rebuilding team who would much rather have the 8th pick.
Absolutely.
Whether
no
moved
question.
into 4th or not.
You're right. It's a good trade asset still.
And now Derek Queen has an unbelievable amount of pressure on him because he essentially has to perform for 2 players.
Correct.
Himself and this 8th pick.
Yeah, he has to be dynamite.
He has to be dynamite. What a stupid trade. I don't care if it didn't. I get what you're saying. And I'm sure Joe Dumars would rather trade the 8th pick as opposed to the 4th pick. But he'd rather have the 8th pick and not have Derek Queen. If you were Joe Dumars, would you rather not have Derek Queen or have the 8th pick?
Well, the nice thing
or
is
have Derek Queen or have the 8th.
you also would have had whatever the other pick they traded up last year, because they also gave up a pick last year.
So again, 2 players.
2 players. I'd probably rather have this year's 8 pick.
Yes.
And last year's 21st pick or whatever it was.
No offense to Derek Queen, who is okay.
Yeah, he's okay. We'll see if he turns out to be very good. I'm trying to see
Is
if I
he
can
good
find
enough to play 2 positions at the same time?
I was told that Joe Dumars, I think, has 4 years and $40 million left on his contract. So they're stuck with him either way. Like, he's not going to get fired, but he really could have been on, not the hot seat, but in some trouble yesterday had Atlanta won.
But see, this makes my point about if I were A.J. DiBonsa, I would want to go anywhere but the Wizards. Like, how could you give Joe Dumars, who did some nice things in Detroit? He put together some nice rosters in Detroit. In fact, they won a title. But he was not roundly considered a great general manager by the end. And then he's been out of the business for 15 years?
A while. He was running the NBA's disciplinary faction for the front office. So he was disciplining the leagues, the players, I think.
You give that guy 4 years and $40 million?
Well, no, he has 4 years and 40 left. so he may have had 5 years and 50.
Listen, if you want to give that contract to Masai Ujiri, I get it.
Yeah.
Like if you're Dallas and you gave him that big deal to leave Toronto, or
Prime Jerry West.
Our guy Ben, what was his last name? Locked on Timberwolves. Beacon was talking about how Dallas was going after Tim Conley.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Roll out the Brinks truck for those dudes.
Yeah.
They're really good at what they do. They have a proven track record, very well-run franchises. In fact, in the case of Tim Conley, he took over a horribly run franchise and has turned it into a really functional franchise.
Yeah.
Joe Dumars has been picking his nose for a decade, and you gave him 5 years.
$550.
$50 million. That's why the Pelicans are the Pelicans.
Yes.
That's why the Pelicans are the Pelicans. The Wizards are the type of franchise that fire their coach to hire Scotty Brooks.
Yeah.
It's just, it pays to be a well-run franchise. And if you want to bring this back to the Jazz, you know, I shouldn't say A.J. DiBonsa would rather go to the Jazz because they're a much more functional franchise. Ryan Smith has not really proven that quite yet. However, with that in mind, you don't hire the Angels if you're dysfunctional. And to go back to Ryan Smith's point when he was on Pitt's show today, he said, hey, Danny Ainge swindles meddlesome owners, so I have to fight my instinct to be a meddlesome owner. That is a a correct point of view from an owner.
100%.
Where you go matters. And I feel bad for these players that are drafted into bad situations because it has a significant impact on their career. Alex Len should be a really good player.
Should be.
Right?
Yeah.
You haven't even heard what Alex Len has done the last couple of years because he's in Washington and it's a disaster.
No, I would be, yes, equally concerned where you can bet on your own talent, a la A.J. DiBonsa, who has all the talent in the world, and you're not going to go to a spot that develops you. Not that you're going to a crappy location, not that you're going to a organization that doesn't win historically, but they might honestly like mishandle your development.
Yes, or your, heaven forbid, your treatment.
Yeah, right. So that is certainly the fear, no question about it.
So, I mean, if I'm A.J. DiBonsa, I'm doing year number 2 at BYU. I'm not kidding.
I'm going back.
I'm going back. I'm considering it.
Yeah, that would be tough. But
no, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm joking. But I think the Jazz will put a rookie into a really good situation where they do not have to be a star day one, but yet there's roles on the team where they can come in and develop right away. Right? If the Jazz draft Aaron Peterson, he's going to come in and play 25 to 35 minutes a game no matter what. And he might not start, but he's going to have a key role in every opportunity to develop as a player under a pretty good developmental staff on a patient organization that's not going to do anything crazy.
And his people should get in his ear and say, look at the development with Keontae George. Look at Ace Bailey from the first game to the last game of the season. Look at how they unlocked Lowry Markkanen. Look at the success they've had. They have found some guys and been successful, and you can be confident in that versus, yes, the Washington Wizards or Sacramento Kings of all teams that have just absolutely failed to develop basically anybody meaningful. It's really tough. It's a really hard spot to be in. I get why players try and position themselves, and agents try and position themselves to and away from certain organizations.
Where do you
Sometimes I think they do it for the wrong reason.
Well, the Kings are fine at developing Tyrese Halliburton. They just traded him before that could pay off.
Yeah, before they actually saw what they had there.
They picked De'Aaron Fox. It's everything you need to know.
But Jazz among the biggest winners.
I would guess they will do whoever they pick a service of giving them opportunity and developing them and not getting in their way. I don't think you can say the same thing about the Wizards. You know, I'm serious. If A.J. DeBonta goes to Washington, he's going to watch Trae Young play basketball for the foreseeable future.
Trae Young does not care that they are adding the number 1 pick to their roster.
Not one bit.
Yeah.
He froze out Jalen Johnson.
Right, and he's turned into a real star. Once
He's an
Trae's
all-star.
Left, yeah. So, I mean, Nikhil, and now I know Nikhil wasn't there with Trae. I guess he was for a little bit, but yeah.
He was the reason they traded Trae.
Yeah, honestly, they were like, hey, this guy can really play. Clearing room can be helpful when you have the wrong player there. I do think the advantage for the Jazz is there's nobody on this roster that's going to be mad that the Jazz are adding the number 2 overall pick. That matters.
Oh, I think they will. Sure. They won't be open about it.
They're not, sure. And everyone's always worried about their job and touches. But I don't think anyone's going to openly withhold the ball from this player. Could be. I don't think that's really the personality of this team.
I don't think so either, but it has happened before. It has happened to the Jazz before.
In the last few years.
But you know what? I kind of like Will Hardy's play hard and pass or you're not going to play. I keep coming back to that because it does set a tone. Like he's going to be in charge and he's not afraid to. I mean, Colin Sexton and Hot Dog were the veterans on that team. Hot Dog! You're not going to play.
That's going to be the key for whoever the Jazz do draft is they are not going to be able to make it about themselves.
Yeah.
That does have to be understood when they come in because this is a really good team. This is good. This was going to be a good team regardless of where the Jazz were picking. And
That's
now
what
they
I'm
have
saying.
a chance to be a great team. Yeah, if this player hits his peak in 2, 3, not his peak, but gets to that unlocking potential level in year 2 and 3, they have a chance to be really good. But if that person comes in, and wants to be the star and wants to be the face of the franchise, that could be a problem.
I think they make the playoffs without this pick. We were talking to Sarah Todd earlier in the show, and I don't get this mentality. Not that, I mean, Sarah could easily be right. I'm not coming at her. But she was talking about how, they can get to the play-in. And, hey, I expect them to win a play-in game. I expect them to be in the dang playoffs, if not win a series.
I think they can definitely be in the playoffs. I think the Jazz are going to try and tamper some of those expectations, but
they're better than Houston today.
Yeah, they might be, especially if they trade.
They might be better than Denver today.
I'd give Denver the edge. But no, they're in that conversation. And we don't know what the Lakers are going to look like next year.
Oh, they're better than the Lakers today for sure.
We don't have any idea what that team's going to look like. So, I mean, the Phoenix Suns made the 6th seed, right? No, maybe the Phoenix Suns had to win a play-in game.
They did. They're better than Phoenix.
They were 7. Minnesota was 6.
Minnesota was 6.
Lakers were 5. Houston was 4.
Yeah. Weird Western Conference. Minnesota. What a confusing team.
Underachieved in the regular season.
Yeah, because when they're awesome, they're awesome. But as Ben Beekman said,
Beekman?
Beacon? As Ben Beacon said.
I like Beekman better.
They play to the level of their competition.
I'll let him know.
Which is a flaw.
Have him change his name. Say, hey, dude, Ben. Beekman's way better.
I've got some tips.
The Beekman. Ben, the Beekman Beekham.
That's
Beekman.
Yusuf Nurkic.
Nurk's guy.
The Beekman.
The Beekman. All right, stay tuned. More Jake and Ben next. 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Just doing it big, you know?
Your home for the best sports radio for your afternoon drive is right here. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airwaves, talking sports. They got him Matrix and on soul. Loves his tie-dye, Ben's got style with his scarves. Oh my.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Do we need to declare a winner in the Zach Ebb conversation that I believe carried on last week? But we were talking to Carrie Hart, and we kind of didn't have room to play our call-ins. But Zach and Ebb, who are brothers, one lives in Ogden, one who lives in Ohio. Zach's a doctor, Ebb's an actor, going head-to-head over our favorite Captain Jack in honor of Quinn Snyder's new nickname. Do we have to declare a winner?
I don't think we do.
I do think we have to put an end to it.
I think we should.
You guys go ahead. I don't want their wrath.
I think we won. I'm not kidding. I think we won. They gave us a week's worth of call-ins,
of material,
which was A+, and I thought they both did a great job. So tip of the cap to both Zach and Ebb for filling it, basically an entire show for us in the aggregate.
We just 100% appreciate the call-ins, and our listeners are super creative, including those two.
Yeah.
And so that turned into a funny bit. So appreciate them weighing in. But really, anybody, download the KSL Sports app, go to the call-in feature, and if you hear something and you want to weigh in on it, make it happen. Really, the only rule is say this is for the Jake and Ben show, because we do want to include our friends from the future, the podcasters. We want to let them be able to weigh in at their leisure, which Zach and Ebb both are, I believe. And we don't want any of the other shows using it. We don't want Scotty and the coach using your A material. That's for our show.
Do you and your brother have like a running conversation?
No.
You have a thing like you talk about?
Not really.
Because apparently Zach and Ebb, they talk about our show, and that might be their only connection. My dad, my brother, and I have a text group called Car Talks. If we see cool cars in the wild, we just text pictures of cars to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about other things, though. Like I talk to my dad. I'm sure my brother talks to my dad, but I don't talk to my brother.
Right.
Well, he lives in New York. So it's just like, I saw this car. And then he'll say, I saw this car. And we're like, great. We talk every day. So Zach and Ebb, they do that with our show. We're their car talk.
Did you see that there are other photos of Diana Rossini that have come out today? No, this is very relevant. She's kissing her husband on Mother's Day. And now the husband, who we don't know anything about, there's pictures of him going around.
Shake Shack?
Yeah, the Shake Shack guy. He's still with her. They're kissing in public on Mother's Day.
Good for him.
Really?
You should stay with your disgraced wife who's lost her job because she cheated on you. That's a real man.
Wowee, Mikey likey.
See, look. See?
Oh, good.
Look, see? They're kissing.
Oh, he's kind of a cool dude. He's got his hat on backwards.
What does that have to do with anything? She is holding a kid
with a brimmed hat on forward. Oh, she's also got the kid. Well, I'm glad they blurred the kid's face out. Is that Mike?
No, I don't know what the Mr. Rossini. I don't know.
No, the kid,
Michael.
Oh, I don't know.
Was that little Mikey?
Does it look like he's about 4?
It looks like a girl to me.
It looks like it looks about 4 to me.
I can only see the top of.
Still old enough to
head.
hold.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: if you're in that guy's position, are you asking for a paternity test?
Yes.
Christian?
1,000%. I would have 3 weeks ago, bro.
That's got to be one of the most awkward conversations of all time. That's why people were like, you know what's less awkward? I'm going on Maury. Less awkward for me to have Maury ask you than for me to ask you outright.
Let me ask you this. If Angie came up to you today and said, Ben, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about why, but we're going on Maury.
Would I go?
Would you go?
No.
No way.
No.
Lord knows what she'd be springing on you.
Like, what's the best case? I am the father?
There isn't a best case.
We don't
or
have
even not paternity. I mean, even like
sure.
I'm just thinking of salacious
yeah,
TV
what's
show.
the best case for Maury is like I've been hiding. The best case would be like I'm hiding winning the lottery from my husband, and now I'm ready to tell you that we've won the lottery, not basketball lottery, actual financial lottery.
Right, which you would know about, but I get your point.
I would hope so. That would be okay. And even then, just tell me. I don't need Maury involved. I love Maury. Watched his compilation videos hundreds of times in my life, but no,
Ben, dear, I can't tell you why, but we're going on Maury.
Going to L.A. or whatever.
We're going on Jerry Springer. Nope. Is there a modern Jerry Springer? Is there a show? A talk show, a sleazy talk show like Maury or Jerry Springer? Remember Sally, Jesse, Raphael?
There's got to be some sleazy podcast. And that's the problem. It's a podcast or it's a YouTube video now. It's like a YouTube station, YouTube channel.
Like the Joe Rogan podcast or something.
Yeah.
Is that what that is? I've never.
No,
that feels. I've never really listened to it, honestly. But that feels more like at least celebrity or like the people have a reason for going on, not just because they married their cousin or something.
No, I don't think we have an outlet for that low level of trash. And I don't mean the people are trash. I mean the content is trash.
Uh-huh. That's what I'm talking about.
Beautiful trash.
Beautiful trash, absolutely. But Maury was, or Springer, who took it to an extreme, a beautiful extreme, was just focusing on trash content, trash material.
Yeah.
That doesn't break through onto TV as easily now because the outlets are more appropriate for trash. But also, you're not organizing people coming on to talk about their relationship with their cousin or their mom's brother or whatever it is. That would be their uncle. So don't do that. Their mom's husband or whatever it is. I don't know if they have that. Mom's husband can be a stepfather as well. Hopefully that's not there either. Woody Allen.
Yeah, if my wife came to me and said, we're going on this TV show, I'm going, no.
No, thank you.
No. In fact,
you can.
what do you have to tell me?
You can.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'm not going to be there.
I don't want any part of it. All right, we'll have more coming up next. Stay tuned. Jacob Ben, 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.